Hey guys, look, I forgot to take the shine off my face. Oopsie, 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 oopsie. Okay. But listen, I'm glad you're in the building. You know how to get your ticket. Hit that like button. That's right, people. All aboard, okay? Because we are here to recap the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part one. And hey, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Okay. It was everything. It gave me everything that we needed. I'm glad to see ya. Hey, Lipstick Hustle Lily. Listen, guys, I'm so glad you're in the building. So glad you got your ticket. We about to board this train because when I tell you we got a lot to talk about, we got a lot to talk about. And honey, while we talking, you know what? We got to give it up, hands down. Candace grew up right before our eyes, but we're going to get into it. Did she not handle herself extremely well? Extremely well. Hey, Bonji. Extremely well for reunion part one. I'm telling you that Candace is doing the darn thing. And she gathered the girls, okay? So let's get into it. So I got to board the train. Don't forget, hit the like button, hit the like button. And if you are not a subscriber, subscribe. Because when we do our recaps on these reality shows, we break it down. All right, people, let me board this train. I got a monthly ticket holder that's always in the building, so I got to bring her on this train as the doors open. Hey, Auntie Robin.
Call me cynical Auntie Robin no more. I watched the Real Housewives of the Potomac, and I am going to declare at the start that I actually have a favorite. Don't tell Shan just yet.
I know what you're going to say. Okay.
Come on now. I am so here for Candace. I'm gonna act like Shan tonight. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, Royer.
Hello, Auntie Diva. Hello, Auntie Robin. Hello, beautiful people. Listen, let me tell you, this is for Candace.
Give it up. Give it up. Hashtag Candace in the chat, okay?
Candace came through. She slayed. She laid them out. She read them. She grabbed her triangles. She dabbed and she pushed. Okay, get it together. She. Listen, I'm gonna have to move her out of the spare category. All right now. She about to be next in line now. Okay, Candace, you doing it now? We see you.
We see you, Candace. We see you, okay? Listen, Bedside BK, thank you for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. He said, greetings, Diva, in chat. Happy Barack Obama Day. Okay, they gave this man a day. All right, now.
It's President's Day.
Oh, it's President's Day. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being slow.
Don't be Mia now.
Because I definitely thought they gave this man a day. I was like, oh my
God, okay. Don't be Mia. Don't be Mia. Don't be Mia.
Woo, child. Okay, let me drink some more water. Hey, Juanita.
Hey, Diva. Hey, Robin, Royer, Sebastian, and chat. How are y'all? I'm ready to get this train rolling.
This train rolling. Hey, Smoke.
Hello, y'all. And I'm just going to read the caption in my picture. It says, I'm going to comfort anyone who comes from me, so tread lightly tonight.
Okay, Candace. Okay, Candace.
Wait a minute.
Can we put this on pause?
Derail the train before the train even pull out. Oh, you
I was going to say, I need to go get my boxing gloves now.
Okay. Hey, E.
Was that me? I'm sorry.
Yes, it's you.
Hi. I vehemently disagree with anybody who thought Candace came and showed out last night. So I have plenty to say and good luck.
Clutching my pearls.
Honey, you talk about, wait a minute, people. Somebody say derail. Okay, hashtag derail. You trying to derail the train before it even pulls out. Y'all
clutching my pearls.
Can I comment?
Hold on, no, you cannot. Hold on. I gotta finish boarding this train. aboard this train right now is Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. How are you?
Hey, everybody. What's up?
Hey, Emmanuel.
Hey.
Okay, Smoke is sitting on the tracks and like I can see Smoke. Y'all going, Roy, bring the train back on the track because they came in to distract us.
Listen, I have already called security early. They own the caboose. We got a security on every car, so we're not playing tonight. The click button is on ready. You will be moved out as quickly as you came in. Thank you.
Who are you?
Who, Bonji? You got the last ticket on this
Who
train.
am I? Diva, do you hear this guy over here? He just asked, who am I?
We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
He came from Jesus.
Hey, Diva.
Listen, you got the last ticket on this train, right? That's why, Tony, clutch your pearls, everyone, because I can tell this going to be a rocky ride. But we pulling this train out. And we going to the first stop, just in case anybody was confused. We are doing the recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 1. And they gave us a show, okay? They gave us a show. You know, I love the fact that Andy starts out by going to everybody's fitting room to see what's up, you know, make sure they good and everything, see that everybody's here. So they started out, they tried to give us, you know, they try to give us the, the reasonably shady part of the podcast. You know, we over it. The fact that Robin knew that Juan, you know, was speaking to somebody during the pandemic. And she said he was just being stupid. Girl, if that's the way you want to label your man talking to somebody else, okay. All right. But whatever.
They stupid together.
They stupid. Thank you, Auntie Robin. They stupid together, okay? She's like, I was aware that he was communicating with somebody, and she gonna say the girl was so pressed. The girl was so pressed, you know, and she had to let you know and me know, whatever, Robin, right? And you know, Andy did pretty much say, he said, you know, when he showed her at you know, when she came to watch What Happens Live, yeah, Andy was good last night. Andy did pretty good. He did his thing last night. He said, you know, Chris was pretty much the sacrificial lamb. He said, you up there playing in Chris' face, and in the meantime, you know, you had your own situation going on, being messy. You know, when he asked Karen, I like Karen. This is why Karen is a class act, right? This is why she's the grand dame. Because he said to Karen, he said, you know, how you doing? He said, are you okay with Sharice being here? She pretty much said, listen, you don't put her up in my face every chance you got. So, you know, she deserves to be here. She's like, whatever, let her be here, right? With Mia was like, you know what? I'm going to let it all out. She said, I'm going to talk about everything. Check, 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 and check. And guess what? That's what Mia did. You can hate Mia, but she came on that stage. She wasn't doing a Robin. She wasn't hiding nothing. She said, yes, I'm broke. Yes, I rented 4 properties. Yes, now I'm down to 1 rented property. I don't got no money. I'm living off my savings, okay? She told the facts. She told the truth. And like I said, you can hate Mia, but she gave up the information, right? So then he gets to, you know, the Green Eyed Bandits. They share in the room together. So now they trying to do like Married to Medicine. Remember when, what's the darn name?
Jackie and Dr. What's her friend's name? Jackie
Simone.
Simone, thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Jackie and Simone always sharing a room together. Now all of a sudden, y'all two want to share a room together. You know what? Because maybe they had a prayer visual and had some sage in there saying, I hope we get through this. So whatever. Those two together are a disaster. Okay. They tried to save each other on the reunion stage, and we'll get into it, but they didn't do well at all. Okay. They lost the game. You know, Juan is a basketball coach. He should have coached them before they went to that reunion, because it was an epic fail for them last night. But we get to it. You know, Candace, she know how to do her stuff, right? She, you know, he came to the room with Candace, and Candace was giving gifts out. She gave Andy some gifts, okay? Here's your late Christmas gift, Andy. See, that's how you get next to the boss, right? That's how you get close to the boss. You give him gifts. Give it up for Candace right there. She started out the gate right. Here goes some presents, Andy, okay? That's what Candace did. So now we get to come out, and we're seating down, right? We get the seating chart. The seating chart, we already talked about this before. It was off. It was trash, okay? He was like, oh, he tried to give us this stupid information about, oh, if, you know, y'all not getting along, we try not to seat y'all next to each other. Well, then y'all should have had all individual chairs and not a couch. because nobody was really getting along, right? And then at the end of the day, we still doesn't give us the answer as to why Gizelle and Robin was in the coveted seats next to you, Andy. So, Andy, don't play in our face, Andy, because we're sick of everybody trying to play in our face. We're not stupid. Andy, we see you. Okay, you like Gizelle. That's why Gizelle was sitting next to you. And because it's the Grand Dame, that's why you had her sitting next to you. He said to Karen, so this was his shade to Robin because he's sick of Robin. Did you catch the shade he did to Robin? He said to the Grand Dame, so you're Muhammad Ali of live shows. So in other words, he was saying Gizelle and Robin, they didn't do nothing. They didn't slay their live show, but you did, Grand Dame. Yeah, I caught it. Let me tell you something. If you were really paying attention, there was a lot of digs up in this reunion, but it happened fast, so you had to catch the gem. Oh, I said, oh, look at Andy, okay? Called her the Muhammad Ali of live show, knowing that Gizelle and Robin did one too, okay? Messy boots, okay? Luke and Ashley is a done deal. They done so. But we're not surprised. See, Michael, he got a leash on Ashley's neck, okay? And the leash is not even like 6 feet long. The leash is like a foot long. And the minute he sees Ashley get out of line, he snatches her back in, okay? So he let her look at Luke. She was able to look at him, hang out with him for 2.2 seconds. And when he had enough, he brought the kids back over and Luke had to go home, okay? And ever since then, Luke was done so, okay? He had enough. He's like, look, if you divorce from the man, if you leaving the man, you separated from the man, separate from him. But what I'm not going to do is have him running your life and I'm over here chilling with you. We about to get into it, do some adult things. And now he brings your kids back over and I got to sneak out the back door because I can't see the kids because I just met you. Now this is messy. Okay. Michael, you know what? Michael for the win. Michael, all of these other men out there, they need to talk to Michael. Because Michael kept all of his dollars, okay? He kept all of his coins up in the bank account. For real, for real. Ashley is getting nothing, okay? So, Karen, when Andy mentioned Robin, he said, you know what? You're a married woman now. Did you see Karen's face? Karen was like, whatever. And then, and when Andy said, you know, Karen, you know, how do you feel? She said, congratulations, right? And then, I'm happy for them. And, Robin, because she petty Betty and she's sick or something, she was like, I doubt it, right? Wendy, he asked Wendy about her health. She said she's drinking a whole lot of water. She's doing well. All is well, okay? Mia said after all her health scares, she's doing well. And then, that's pretty much the beginning. So we'll just, and we're going to go a quick roundsy before I get into the other items here. A quick roundsy. I'm going to say this off the top really quickly, okay? Really quickly, I'm going to say this. Sitting down, the dress appearance sitting down, hands down, the winner on the dress appearance sitting down is Ashley Darby. Ashley got body. Ashley didn't have to sit there, adjust nothing. And I mean, Bulls was hanging out. You darn near saw her panties and she had some on. But she wasn't twisting and turning. She didn't have to move a leg. She wasn't adjusting nothing. So hands down, when you talk about the sit down of it all, Ashley Darby wins. Now, I don't think Ashley, none of their hair matched their dress. Period, point blank. They all get an F on the hair. For the dress that Candace had on, that hair should not have been down. It should have been an updo because you can't have two things competing, right? The dress was everything. The focus should have been the dress. So the hair should have just been up and simple. And I thought her hair was messy and it seemed a lot undone. And I love Candace, but the hair did not match the dress. Now, let me talk about Wendy. That dress was ridiculous. The dress had a point up that was covering 99.9%. It was a distraction. It was a distraction. Now, even though I don't like Robin, let me say this about Robin. A sit down, her dress didn't look bad. She was one of the better ones. So first came Candace and then came Robin. Mia, a whole hot mess because every time she was about to have a Janet Jackson Super Bowl moment with the nips showing, okay? Every second she was sticking her hand down trying to adjust to make sure nothing was coming out. The Grand Dame, that hair was a distraction, so I never even really got to look at the dress. The hair did not. That super blonde, it didn't work. It was a hot mess. And Giselle, hands down, she's an epic fail. She is last on the list. These gloves, the sanitation of it all. How did she go to the bathroom? I mean, come on, Giselle. I didn't like it. Okay, I didn't like the gloves. I didn't like the hair. It wasn't given reunion. It was given a whole hot mess. And I think I covered everybody. Did I not? Yeah, I covered everybody, and that's it. So we're going to go around really quickly because we got a lot to get through. Really quickly.
What about Wendy?
Wendy, I told you Wendy was an epic fail. What is this big thing sitting here? It was this. That's all I kept seeing. Every time she talked, all I saw, I felt like it was a hand sitting here, like growing up. It was a mess.
You be an extra.
Yeah, I like her outfit.
We're gonna go around from the top. Just talk about the opening. Then we're gonna get into this person by person. So Robin, for the opening, who won on the outfit? Who was number one? And how did you like the opening, going to the fitting rooms and all that? Talk to us, Robin. Auntie Robin, are you there? Okay, we lost Auntie Robin. Royer, the opening, how do you feel?
The opening, I mean, all I can say is that Andy has been doing some studying and doing his homework as a host because, I mean, Andy came through this season now. Andy came through. It was giving Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion. It was giving just, I come to slay, not to play. And Andy, he definitely slayed, and he did not play. I love the dismissiveness of Robin with this Wambi here. Oh, no, I didn't think so. Yeah. Boop. Get out of here. Let's see. You know what? I do want to speak on one person specifically. Ashley Darby, unfortunately, you are leaving with what you came with. And the attorney tried to tell you, your uncle tried to tell you, everybody tried to tell you, honey. It was just, I'm just so sad for her. Mia, definitely right next to Giselle as one of the worst dressed for me. And best dressed, I definitely have to say, Ashley, she served body. She served jewels. She served bedazzled. She served bob. Even though it didn't go with the dress for me, the bob was on point. Nothing was off.
It was. So, yeah. Now, if whoever doesn't say that Ashley stole the show in terms of dressing with that dress, y'all got to go back. Your homework assignment is to go back and look again. Okay. So Sheila, thank you for the super chat. Robin wiped her. That's how Giselle went to the restroom. They went together. You know what, Sheila? Thank you. That's why they shared the dressing room. Right. She needed Robin. When she had to go, she said, come on, Robin, in here and wipe me with the tissue. Thank you for the super chat, Sheila. Sebastian, what do you think about the opening and who won?
As I've always said, Ashley won in terms of dressing for this reunion. Candace, as Andy said, she looked like Cookie Monster. Karen, I don't know what she looked like. I saw that dress looked like an origami dress to me. Wendy, you're right. It was like a hand near her face. That's exactly what it was.
Come on.
Robin was second place towards Ashley. And Giselle, it just showed the sky. You know, it's just there. We can't get rid of it. It's just going to be here. And Mia, it just showed she never learned from her past. I give Andy kudos to making sure that the questions were asked. The questions that we needed to be asked were asked. People were pressed. And that's what matters. I think that he could do a better job. But he's on the right path. So hopefully next reunion.
Are you talking like a sex commercial?
Hopefully next reunion he does better.
He did do better than his past. The Don, don't do that. But thank you for the super chat. You said Ashley looked like a walker in the Southeast DC. Don't do that to her. She slayed. But thank you.
Juanita, street walker, woman of the night.
Woo! Don't do that. Juanita, what do you think about the opening? What did you think about the opening, Juanita?
I'm sorry, my mic was muted. Okay. I'm gonna have to disagree with y'all. Oh. As far as classiness, I think Candace was the best dressed. Now, actually, true enough, that outfit fit her, and she really looked like she was ready to go and do OnlyFans. So, that's what I think about that. The worst dress was Giselle, of course. Mm-hmm. And I have to say that Robin, even though I don't like her, she was okay with, the way that she was dressed. But Andy, I'm going to have to give him kudos. He's either been listening to Carlos King's podcast or he's been looking on Twitter, seeing what the people have to say about the way he questioned his guests. So overall, I think it was a great reunion.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think part of the things that sparked him to question differently is because Robin pissed him the heck off. But hold on, y'all. Y'all killing me with Ashley looked like something from like a streetwalker because Ashley showed up for a reunion, okay? And yes, listen, that's how she dresses. She have dresses, but the girl got body. And if y'all go back and y'all got a homework assignment, go back and look at the sit-down view again. And I promise you, Ashley came out on top. I love Candace, but when he said Cookie Monster, it was looking like give me a Cookie Monster a little bit. And she said it was intentional. But let's go to Emmanuel because we got a lot to talk about. What do you think about the opening scene, Emmanuel, and who slayed? Who is number one? Now think clearly, Emmanuel, who was number one?
First of all, shout out to the editors for coming in hot with that edit in the beginning. I love that. The one that stole the show, Dr. Osefo. Oh. She was stunning in that dress. I think it's the best dress I've seen in reunions, like across every franchise.
Nice. It was like, now you're going too far. Now you lost your mind.
I'm telling you, she could have. It looked like she came out of the runway with that. Oh. The worst dress though was Candace. I said it from the beginning. It was horrible. I don't really mind where they sit or whatever because I feel like if they're going to deliver, they're gonna deliver regardless where they sit. But yeah, as far as the opening, yeah, that's all I think I got.
Emmanuel, yeah. It was this thing sitting on the side of her face the whole time. It was a distraction. Now her face was beautiful and her hair was beautiful, but the dress, you need to stop. The best you've seen in any reunion yet. But yeah. I'm gonna let you live, Obi, because we got other stuff to talk about. Obi, what do you think about the opening and who was best dressed? Do you wear glasses, Obi? I hope you had your glasses on if you do. Who was the best dressed?
I'm gonna go with Sebastian. It was Wendy, and I don't know why. Like,
you mean Emmanuel? I never said Wendy.
Wendy was the best dressed. Oh, who said that? Was it Emmanuel? Sorry, Emmanuel. I thought Wendy was the best dressed. I don't know why you're having a thing with the thing beside her face. I mean, it's a style. Do you know what? When I saw it in the picture at first, I wasn't too sure if I really liked it until I saw it live in the reunion. So it actually looks really good live. So I think she was the best dressed. Worst dressed for me was Giselle. And I love Andy's shade. So like Andy came through with the shades. Like she shaded Juan with saying, oh yeah, I expected that he wasn't going to show up.
Right.
And then he also shaded Candy's dress, which is actually the first time he's actually shaded a housewife's dress in the reunion. So that says something.
Precious, thank you for the super chat. Candace best dressed for me. Y'all killing me. Thank you, Precious. E, who was best dressed? What do you think about this opening scene?
Well, best dressed sitting down was Robin, hands down, hair, dress, and makeup. Candace had the wrong shoes on for that dress. The hairstyle didn't match the occasion. Too many feathers. It didn't look expensive.
Come on, speak the truth, E. Come on, go ahead now. Keep going.
Wendy looked like she was going to Mardi Gras. Ashley looked like she was going to the same strip club Mia retired from. And Mia Mia and Giselle looked like they were both going to the Cheesecake Factory somewhere, and Karen looked like she was going to a Tyler Perry production. Sitting down, it was Robin. I mean, sometimes less is best. We have to acknowledge that less is best. And Robin sitting down, I would say she was the most appropriate. I like Robin's look.
I can see where you're coming from.
You know what? E.
I didn't like her hair and makeup.
I can give you that. Overall, everything did fit with Robin. The hair, the makeup, the dress. And sitting down, definitely a class act, no matter how we feel about her. So I will give you that 100% hands down. But I still say, Ashley, clothes on or not, she wasn't adjusting. She sat there. She looked good. I think the hair could have been different for the dress, but I did like it. So thank you. Bonji, what do you think about this opening scene and who was best dressed? Sitting down.
Oh, so now we're saying sitting down. First of all, my favorite thing about this season was the shady edits. Mm-hmm. I loved how they began the reunion by running us through what Robin had said, had done, and then her interview in the studio with Andy, and then just beginning the reunion and him walking through the dressing rooms, because we knew what had happened after filming. Robin, anything that Robin said hadn't aged well. The math just wasn't mathing, and we knew why. Whereas in the past, when things didn't add up, we couldn't really put our finger on it, or we knew, but nobody else seemed to be aware. I think this is going to be the best reunion I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And then my favorite, to be honest with you, I can't give Robin any props, even if I don't like her. I would rather say Candice looked best, because she said she looked like the Cookie Monster on purpose. And I tend to believe her before I can even give Robin any props.
Okay. Candice. All right. Smoke, opening scene. Who was best dressed sitting down? Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Shame the truth. You're right. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Best dressed sitting down. I will go with my girl Candice Dillard Bassett. I loved her serving Sesame Street realness to troll the haters that was not even invited to the reunion. And going back to our earlier comment that E was saying about Dr. Osefo, I'm kind of like shocked, because there are a lot of great African designers that could have just snatched her up in a traditional wear, had her sitting right with her gaily on, ready to shade the hell out of these heifers for all three parts. But I will say Candice, and honestly, I feel like Andy is paying attention to these YouTube streets and these Twitter streets and taking the feedback and constructive criticism, because probably they had to pull him in the big boss's office like, listen here, Andrew Joseph Cohen, if you don't get your stuff together, we're going to have to pull the plug on your reunion hosting and Watch What Happens Live that has been under 1 million viewers for the last 10 years. So I'm going to need you to pull up, get it right, and deliver. And he did. I won't lie. I was like, ooh, where has this Andy Cohen been? I got a little excited.
He delivered, but let's not give it that much credit. I think he delivered because he was super pissed at Robin for playing in his face. And the fact that Carlos King is clowning him in the streets, that's what picks them off. Nobody HR gathered him. He was pissed that Carlos King is in the streets clowning him, and that Robin helped with the clowning by not giving the show the juice and the tea that could have had that show on fire the whole season, because she knew from her own mouth that Juan was in the streets doing what he did, and that would have had that TV on fire, but she held it. So he was pissed, and he was ready to stick it to her. And he's been sticking it to her lightly. He ain't really sticking to her yet. He stuck it to her lightly. But hold on one second. Don, what do you think? Who was the best dressed sitting down?
Best dressed sitting down was Candice from the waist up. The feathers at the bottom were a little overwhelming to me. But the most beautiful at the reunion was Wendy.
Oh.
Wendy looked amazing. Like, she looked amazing. Like her face and hair just.
It's a style.
All that chocolate was just chocolate and on that reunion stage. So Wendy, her face looked real good. But
Don, you like chocolate?
Listen.
Her face. Listen, hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. Her face in here was amazing, but I think you're missing the assignment. All the way together, your whole outfit. Who looked the best? Don, you're saying this thing sitting on the side of her face is listen, they loving you though. You think that thing sitting on the side of her face like this was everything?
You know, I don't know what Jacqueline has on yet. And I think she might, because to me, everybody didn't look the best. But from what we got to work with, I mean, like I said in the comments, Ashley looked like she was coming out of Southeast.
See,
she had a string. She had a string around both nips, and that was fashion. But I got to go with Candace. I know, but worst dress got to be Giselle. I mean, when I saw the back of her dress, like the diamonds didn't even go around the back of her dress. I'm like, did they run out of Amazon diamonds? Did she not order enough? Did the Prime delivery not come in on time? What was going on? Because the back of your dress was completely empty.
Yeah, it was a mess. Okay, Auntie Robin, did we come to you? Because I need to move on to the next scene. Did I get you?
Her internet is failing. That's what she said. She's going in and out. She said if she keeps up, she needs to drop out.
Okay, no problem. Okay,
hey, can I say before you move on?
Yes.
The top of Wendy's dress looked like she was listening. You know how you put a shell to your face to listen?
Come on, Auntie Rob. Come on, Bonji. That's what let's talk about.
It looked like a shell.
Thank you. Nobody wants to admit that they thinking I'm crazy over here. It looked like a shell.
The issue, y'all have to excuse Diva. Diva has an issue with Wendy. I don't know what it is. And I've been trying to gather Diva to get it together.
We can tell.
She just had an issue with Diva, but what we can do Wendy. But what we will say is that Wendy had a masterpiece. She is a masterpiece. The dress was a masterpiece. We're going to leave it at that, period.
Okay, we're going to leave it at that.
Actually was too revealing. I would have really liked Candice's dress if it didn't look like it was just like she attached feathers to a white dress. That's kind of how it's looking like to me. She could have actually nailed it because I really love her hair and makeup and I actually love the style, but I just don't think that the dress really pulled it off.
Okay, so let's move on because y'all think I'm hating. So let's talk about Ashley, okay? Let's talk about what happened to Ashley at this reunion.
Look, y'all gonna see her issue with Wendy when we start talking about Wendy. Watch, it's gonna come out from the jump.
Let's talk about Ashley right now, okay? So Ashley talks about, this pending divorce, so to speak. She said, I lost. She said she lost, okay? She said, I lost. I'm not going to get no alimony. I'm only going to get child support. Michael has the keys to the house, okay? He could come when he wants. He only has to give me a 60-minute notice, and he could turn the key and come on in. He's telling me what to do, when to do, and how to do it. I can't even date anybody, okay, because Michael said so. But Michael can run the streets and do whatever it is he want to do. And here was another thing that dropped. I hope y'all caught this, okay? Michael was pissed when she went to her uncle's house and was talking about him and saying something about him being a father, so she cleaned it up. She was like, I just want to make this clear. Michael's a good father.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all catch that? Michael told her, you better fix that at that reunion because I just bought you this $2 million home and you better fix it. I'm going to come to everybody. Give me a minute. Let me just finish getting all the Ashley stuff out, okay? Luke was like, he had enough. He was done, okay? She said the prenup didn't happen in my favor. No kidding, Ashley. We knew it wasn't going to. We knew. Okay, she said now she just wants to be monogamous. She doesn't want to be out in these streets having 3 sons, 4 sons, or whatever. And that's why Michael is done. Mia chimes in and said, "How you get them is how you got to keep them." Whoa, okay. Okay, Michael, all of Michael's money that he had when he came into that marriage is his. Any money that he put in a business while he was in the marriage is his. Yo, Michael is a sly, slick somebody. He was like, I'm going to get with this PYT, but this PYT won't get my money. He set that thing up so well that even if her lawyer looked sideways, upwards, down, Ashley wasn't going to get nothing. But what she got? A house that's not even her name. But in the midst of them talking about Ashley Storm, Candace gets a win. Candace got about 10 wins last night. Candace gets a win. She said, hold on, wait a minute. She said, y'all talked about me with my generational wealth and how Mama Dot bought my house. But she said, Ashley, could you have gotten that house without Michael? Ashley had to say no. Okay. So she said, what's the difference? And Ashley gonna talk about, well, my kids are gonna own their home before 40. How they gonna own their home before 40, Ashley, when you don't even own yours? Okay.
Checkles.
How that's gonna happen, Ashley? So Candace got them all the way together, and then Ashley tried to talk around it. Candace just sat there like, no, we're good. That's the point I need to make. You mad at me because I got generational wealth, and Mama Dot was able to set me and my man up, but now your man got you on a chokehold, and he got the keys to your house. Just like my mama had the keys to my house and you was clowning me. Now your man got the keys to your house. And if he decides that he don't no longer want to pay, you're done. You can't afford that $13,000 a month yourself. Sheila, thank you for the super chat correction. Those were rhinestones on Giselle's dress. Yeah, Giselle's dress was a hot mess. Okay.
I think she's trying to say that Ashley's dress or Ashley's front part was the missing rhinestones from Giselle's dress, because if you notice, they were matching.
Oh, they were matching. It was the same color.
Giselle, she had missing diamonds on. You got to go back and watch.
Oh, I don't want to look at Giselle's dress. It was a mess. But I believe you, Juanita. Thank you for the super chat. I might ask you for being honest, but I hate how Michael did her. Well, we didn't need her honesty because we already knew what was going down with Ashley. Uncle Lunk talked to her. The lawyer talked to her. Even her mama. You could talk about her mama living under the bridge and all that, but the mama ain't stupid. The mama was like, wow, you bought the house with Michael? The mama really wanted to say, are you stupid? But she was respecting her. She just said, wow. Okay, so then what else happened here? I think that's really it with Ashley. Candace gathered her all the way together. Okay, and Michael played her for a fool. All right, so we're gonna go around really quickly. Okay, so thanks, Juanita. Yeah, admire her all you want, but she's still silly. Okay, she's still silly. Let's start at the bottom of the Don. What do you have to say about that scene with Ashley? What about Ashley? What are your thoughts?
One thing I can say about Ashley, like the last person with the super chat said, she's going to give it out. But once you give it out, you got to expect everything that you gave out back. I'm so glad Candace hit her where it hurt.
Yes, she did.
She was so pissed when Candace, said that you all maligned me for seasons about what my mother gave me or was able to give me because of her, her generate her wealth. Mm-hmm. And here you can't even afford your own mortgage on your own. Mm-hmm. Michael manipulated this woman for seasons. I remember seeing when she said Michael would never do that to me. And here we are, come crunch time, Michael has gotten away with every single thing. You didn't take advice from a lawyer. You think that this man who has other kids was going to give you half of his money? And you didn't even take that new contract to a lawyer? You just trusted everything that he said? She a fool.
She a fool. And you know what? It's no helping her because you went to a lawyer, baby girl, and you didn't believe the lawyer. So Michael had her mind so twisted up that no matter who told her the truth, she wasn't going to accept it. She got what she got. So thank you, Sheila, for the super chat. You said Ashley played herself because Michael was holding the purse string. That's what the lawyer told her.
Yes, she did.
She told her that. And Ashley went out there like, la, 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 no, not my Michael. My Michael won't do this to me. Well, Michael did. Auntie Robin, you're next. What do you think about
Yes, and I'm back. Let me start by saying that I think that the Don is onto something. I believe that Ashley's appearance last night was her own ringing commercial and endorsement for her new business. Her new business is booboodafool.com. Period. She is an idiot. The fact that we saw her, by the way, I've never believed that she was in a real relationship with Luke, but that she said that Luke left and he was frustrated. That means that that's not the first time he pulled some crap, that Michael pulled some crap. He's supposed to have his children for until the next day, but he decides to just drop them off the day before. What a good daddy he is. And by the way, folks, my internet was jacked up earlier, and I want to say that I hated almost everybody's hair. I think Ashley got her wig from Dr. Heavenly's bargain bin at her shop, and that Giselle's dress was so horrible that she could have done a whole lot better if she came to New York and bought one off of Flatbush Avenue, period.
Well, the bargain bin. Okay. E, you're up next. What about Ashley?
So here's the thing. Ashley basically started part 1 telling Candace everything I've been saying to Ashley since episode 1 started of this season. As an adult, you have to be responsible for yourself. That's what Ashley said. Meanwhile, Ashley signed on to be responsible for a $2 million home with a $13,000 mortgage she can't afford. When it comes to finances, Ashley needs a conservatorship. She needs to be in a conservatorship because she cannot manage her lifestyle, and she needs to sign over custody of those kids to her uncle and his wife. If Ashley cannot afford the mortgage, then she cannot afford the groceries. She cannot afford the utilities. She cannot afford the after-school activities, leisure, landscaping, medical insurance, the homeowner association fees, car insurance, the furniture, the welcome mat, nothing.
The welcome mat?
Yes, you can. If you cannot afford the mortgage, you cannot afford the welcome mat. You cannot afford the internet. Listen, if you cannot afford the biggest bill in the house, then you cannot afford the house, period. Ashley is choosing, volunteering, and electing to remain financially dependent upon Michael, which means she will always be in bed with him financially. She's an idiot. Then she said, Michael has a key to the house. Okay, where do they do that at? 50% of marriages end in divorce. We know that. Divorces are not uncommon, especially with co-parenting. But it is highly unusual for a woman who is divorcing her husband, who she claims lied to her, cheated on her, and mistreated her, and this caused the separation to begin with, for then to hand over a key to the new residence while she's actively dating and having male company over. Listen, that's just not common sense. It's not common sense. Then she said Michael dropped the kiddos off on Sunday, even though he agreed to drop them off on Monday, and she had to send her booty call home early. You think that was on accident? That was on purpose that he dropped those babies off on Sunday instead of Monday.
Yep.
You will not convince me that Michael doesn't have cameras in the lawn. He doesn't have access to the security system. Michael knows exactly.
Absolutely.
Michael knows what's going on in that house and who's there. He wants to control everything she does because he pays for everything, and she's just going along with it. So all because you refuse to make a way to provide for your own self. Ashley is incompetent. And like I've been saying for weeks, she does not need custody of those kids because she's not smart enough to take care of herself. She doesn't even know how much Michael earned during the marriage. But I bet you Michael knows how much Bravo and Andy are paying Ashley to be on the Housewives. She sat on that couch. She sat on that couch and said, oh, I don't know how much he made during the marriage. Listen, she's not smart. Then she said she doesn't get alimony payments, but she's still keeping his last name for the kids. Hashtag we're still the Darbies. Girl, is you dumb? The whole thing made no sense. That's it. I don't want to talk about Ashley anymore. She's gone.
Well, you said more than enough. Hold on, Obi, before I get to you. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Ashley thought she was getting over on Michael. She got to keep her Bravo checks, but he kept his fortune. He wouldn't even give her a house, right? He will continue to control her. Ashley is a woman child. She is a woman child, but you want to know what? I bet your bottom dollar she'll never say it, but I don't think Ashley controls her checks from Bravo. I promise you, I don't think she does, like at all. Okay, I think Michael Darby controls everything. She tells you he signs this, he does that. Ashley has no control over that money. And E, you put a whole new perspective on this thing. You are correct. If you can't afford the mortgage, you can't afford the furniture. He's going to dictate how that house gets decorated. He's going to dictate when this comes over, when that happens, when this doesn't happen. She's done so. There is no way I would have purchased a home with him, knowing that without him, I would not be able to afford it. If I would have purchased a home with him, if I was being that silly, it would have been one that was the minute he decided to act a fool, I could have said, leave me alone and I'll pay my own mortgage. She will never be able to say that. And that chick will never be able to date anybody until those kids are 18. Thank you again, Sean, for the super chat. He has a key because it's his house, not hers. And that's facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Okay. Obi, what are your thoughts? What about Ashley?
So I've kind of seen a different take on Ashley and Michael, like from this reunion and maybe like a few episodes back. So if you're looking at Ashley in a different, like if you're looking at Ashley, the gold digger who married this elderly man to go take him basically, it wouldn't make sense to you what she's doing. But if you look at it from the perspective of her trying to fill a void, which I feel is her father. Because remember in that episode, there was this season when, I think there was a season when she went looking for her father, right? And then she went to her father's doorstep and then he shut the door on her and she kind of broke down. And you could tell that she was really longing to just have some kind of acceptance or some kind of acknowledgement from him. So I'm thinking that void is being filled with Michael. So if you look at Ashley and Michael, they're kind of in a weird relationship in the sense that she's looking to him as a partner and also a fatherly figure. And if you listen to their conversations closely, you see that Michael actually talks to her a lot like he's her father. He controls everything. He controls all their finances. I think she actually married Michael for love, not to actually go dig, to be honest. Because
I feel that way. I feel that way too. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Because if you look at like in the previous seasons where Michael was really disrespecting her, like grabbing booties and all that stuff, like how Ashley was responding to it was just not making sense. Like, this guy is disrespecting you. It's obvious he's doing all these things. Like, why are you protecting him? And you keep on protecting him and lying for him, So so bringing it back now to their finances. I really don't think Ashley was really trying to dig anything out from Michael. And the reason why I think Michael is still able to control her finances and even still own the house that she lives in is because she's allowing it to happen. I think she wants to get the divorce, maybe because of that dynamic, and she doesn't want it to affect the kids, and also because of the fact that they are bringing other parties into the bedroom and all that. And she probably doesn't want that anymore. But I still feel like she wants to maintain that fatherly relationship he has with Michael. That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
She does. Sheila, you are correct. The bank, when you sit down and you buy a house and then you finish signing the papers and they hand you the keys, they handed those keys to Michael and Ashley got the spare keys. That's facts. Okay. Emmanuel, what do you think about Ashley?
When I think about this situation, I can't help but think at it from the male perspective. So I'm like, Michael was a smart guy to make that prenup like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think people are being too harsh on Ashley. I think she was in love with him, and I think she's going to be fine. I don't think she's ever going to be in need of something. I think that if she ever needs something, Michael will give it to her. So I think she'll be all right. As far as the show, unfortunately, I think she's given all that she can. I don't really see what else she could bring. So, yeah, that's what I think.
Well, Emmanuel, let me say this, and then I'm going to go to Bonji. She's not going to be all right. Do you see Kim Zolciak right now? Overspent, and then the money ran out. Well, and now she is losing, but I'll let you get back in, but give me a minute. Now she's losing her home, right? Ashley doesn't know how to control her own finances. She is already above her means because she cannot afford this home outside of Michael Darby. So when you get a home like that, it costs a lot to maintain it and upkeep it. She has to buy furniture and furnish this home. So that Bravo check is not that long, especially if you are overspending the Bravo check before you get it. So she has to furnish this home. I'm sure when it comes time, she has nannies. You heard it out of her own mouth. And Michael, as we already know, he don't play with his money. He's playing her. So I'm sure that he makes her do enough that it eats up that whole Bravo check. She's not getting that Bravo check and it's sitting in the bank. I promise you that. She's not. She's going to utilize that whole check probably for them nannies, probably for the school, probably for everything else. Michael is paying for exactly what he wants to pay for. And at the end of the day, that house is his. And so if he wrote it up so that she don't get no money now, do you think when he's gone, she's going to get a whole bulk of this money? Now, I'm sure the kids are going to get some money, but do you think all of a sudden he's gone and he's thinking, oh, let me make sure Ashley's good? No, then Ashley's going to have to learn from that point on how to downsize, resize, and figure out her life.
And we know that she's not keeping her Bravo money because look at the wig she had on at the reunion. She's struggling now. She's telling us without telling us. You see
what I was saying is that I feel like Michael is always going to be there to help her. I really do think that.
Not in the capacity that you're thinking. He'll be always there to help her, but he's not going to help her as much as she's supposed to, like as a wife. Do you know what I mean? Because first of all, if he wanted that, he would have drawn up something better in the prenup.
That part.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, you are correct, Obi. But let's move to Bonji, because we still got other people to talk about. Bonji, what are your thoughts on Ashley?
Okay, here's the thing. I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth as far as I can throw her.
Oh.
And here's the reason why. She is saying that she hasn't gotten anything in the divorce. She also said on that same speech of hers that she hasn't filed. She's only going to file in February. So, and then she also talked about how the initial prenup that she signed was ironclad. So with all those things that she is now saying being true, all that story about redoing the prenup, that was a whole lot of baloney. Because surely if she signed the ironclad prenup because she was so in love and didn't see them ending up in divorce court, Michael would not have put in a clause that says after X number of years, we can rethink the prenup, if those were his initial thoughts. And then if she had had the sense to go and show that prenup to a lawyer to look over it before she signed it, her lawyer would have told her, don't sign it. Because of all the things that she was saying were
in it
under the prenup. So where in the world have we ever heard of someone, a spouse, saying to the other spouse, even though we are now together in terms of business? Because remember, she said she co-owned Oz, the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So now it turns out that no, all those things were Michael's money, which 100%. He protected during the initial prenup. And let's not forget, Michael has older kids. So in hindsight, it totally makes sense why he would want his money not to be split up now. And I don't even know if Ashley is intelligent enough to ensure that her boys are taken care of in Michael's will.
Well, see, you know what? Let me say this, Bonji, then I'm going to move on to Smoke. She's not, right? Because after knowing all of this, she's still with this LLC. Let Michael do everything. She sees Michael. I don't think she was a gold digger. I think she really fell in love with Michael, but for the wrong reasons. He was a father figure to her. And she still looks at this man as a father figure, and everybody trusts their father. She still, hands down, no matter what he sticks it to her, which way he sticks it to her, she still trusts him like he's a father figure. And he knows it, and he uses it to his advantage every single time. She think this house is hers, but just like she thought she was going to get some money out of this marriage and she ain't getting jack, but she talking about there's a clause in there if she's destitute, he will step in and help her. I mean, how messy is that? She's screwed. But hold on one second. Hi, Bob. Thank you for the super chat. Diva, I think Ashley was supporting her family with that Bravo check. She'll move from under the bridge. Uncle Lemp got something, and Ashley brother. Ashley was and will remain dependent on Michael forever. She's screwed. Give me a second, Smoke. I'm coming to you. Sin City from NOLA. Dr. Wendy Osefo Slade. Ashley is getting closer to the bridge. Oh my God. If you know, you know. Good Lord. Okay. Smoke, you're in the building. What do you want to say about Ashley?
Ashley, if you open up the dictionary and look up Boo Boo the Fool, you'll just see her plastered with that bad Mama Sheila wig she had on in season 3. Because ain't no way you were sitting here being this messy into everybody's business of what other women could have been doing, and you didn't read the fine print of your own arrangement of your marriage. And I actually, Bonji just reminded me of a scene, because I could have swore that it was in 2 or 3 that they said if she hit a certain point, she would be guaranteed a certain amount. So I'm like, was that just for the cameras to make it seem like, oh, I'm renegotiating, or was she BSing us? So I guess maybe she was BSing us, because I was like, how is that even possible? And why would you get a house for $13,000 per month to maintain? And that's just the mortgage. We're not talking about maintenance of the lawn, anything that could possibly go wrong in the house as far as like the plumbing and whatnot. And granted, yes, she may get a good Bravo check, but after taxes, that only comes up to so much. So I don't understand how someone who has an education like Ashley claims to be could be so dumb and not think to really make sure that she was guaranteed a certain amount that she could continue the lifestyle shit she had became accustomed to with Michael. So yes, Michael will continue to control her, but once those boys turn 18, like High Vibe was saying, I think since she's going to be singing up the Proud Mary River with a shimmy dress on, and she better just, ask me what to do in the club with the steaks and the lobsters.
Yeah. And my thing is, whatever happens if they shut down the Real Housewives of Potomac, then what is she going to do?
That part.
What is she going to do? I don't know how much she's earning from her TikToks. I mean, she's working her behind off with her TikToks. Hopefully she gets she has a huge following there. But I just say when the Bravo check is over, then what?
She's an influencer, y'all. She's going to be fine. She'll be posting on Instagram.
Influencer what?
Okay, hold on, because I gotta get to Sebastian. Sean, thank you for the super chat. The moment she finds a real love, Michael will cut her off. That part, because he dropped them kids off early to shut down her chances of even having a friendship with somebody. So you are correct. He will shut her down because listen, he didn't like paying for her mother, and her mother's man was there. And I didn't disagree with him with that, right? You got 2 grown people in the house together. They need to figure that thing out. Why am I paying for them, right? So, but I'm just saying, he did not like that. So you think he going to let somebody sit up in his house where he's paying the bills and it's Ashley's man? He's not going to have it. But go ahead, Sebastian, your thoughts, Ashley.
Ashley is a victim of what a lot of people who are truly in love are. Mm-hmm. You enter a situation and you're just completely blind. She never expected she'd ever get a divorce. We all can clearly see that. Ashley never expected that would happen.
I agree.
She truly loved Michael. She truly did. That's the thing. She did not have a father figure in her life. And Michael was some sort of that father figure that she needed. My hopes for Ashley is that she gets a good investor so she could follow the 20-30-50 rule. Make sure she also, once the divorce is going in process, she needs to get a forensic accountant to make sure, because Michael did not invest all money he's earned from his businesses throughout the marriages. He did not do that. Some of them he's probably hidden. Some of them he's probably sent to Australia, because we keep forgetting Michael's Australian. Michael has bank accounts in Australia. So it's a good idea if Ashley gets a good attorney, a good financial accountant. No, not a financial accountant, a forensic accountant, so they can dig deep through all these accounts. And I hope that she's going to be able to find other ways to make some businesses. People are mentioning that why she didn't file for divorce yet. It hasn't been a year. Her separation, she's in the state of Virginia. You have to be separated for a year. Then you can file for divorce. That's why. My thing is Ashley is the true victim of what we call love is blind. Okay? She signed those papers unwillingly because she did not really care about the money. She truly did love Michael. It is just a fact. She truly did. We're going to have to accept that. I know that's controversial, and I know someone going to say, what was there for her to like about Michael? Well, when you have a void in your heart and someone probably fills that void, you're just going to be completely blind. You're not going to think. She's not going to think. And she was very young. And first of all, I'm not worried about her budgeting skills because Diva, it's not like she's going out to Louis Vuitton and Versace to buy clothes. We clearly see that Ashley's going on Shein and Fashion Nova buying those $20 sets. Just saying. We don't have to worry about if she's overspent.
But you know what, though? The fact that you're in a $2 million home with a $13,000 mortgage, just because you're not spending your money on clothes don't mean that you're not overspending. The fact that you're in a $13,000 a month home where the mortgage is $13,000 a month. I mean, he broke it down perfectly right there. And you say you can't afford it unless Michael chips in. You're donezo. So that right there is a problematic. So just for the minute, let's just pretend. Because his money is going to be tied up, in my opinion, where she can't touch it. Pretend something happened, unfortunately, to Michael, and I don't wish that on, but pretend for a minute, right? What is she going to do? 2 months behind, and you owe $26,000? That's insanity.
Well, the thing is, she's going to be able to do something. She will. I have faith in Ashley. I have hope in her. If you could go from under the bridge to Miss DC,
she didn't take herself from underneath the bridge. She got from underneath the bridge because she met Michael. And then you have to understand this. You have hope for her. Well, listen, if she walked in a lawyer office and a lawyer told her don't do it and she still did it anyway, is there hope for her? But hold on, because I got to go to Royer.
Love makes you do stupid things. Just remember this. All these people who are criticizing Ashley for making the dumbest mistake due to love probably have made even worse. Just letting y'all know that.
Now when money is on the line, don't do that.
Don't do that. Hold on, guys. Royer, you're in the building. What about Sebastian? What about Ashley?
You know, I'm going to stand by. We're going to make this quick. 10 toes down what I said at the beginning of the season. Ashley got with Michael. He was, that figure that she looked to help her, provide a lifestyle that she wanted. Unfortunately, she fell in real love with him. She had real children with him. And now we're in a real life situation where she's got to grow up very quickly and get it together, not just for herself, but for the kids and for the next generation that she wants to own their house by 40 years old. I love Ashley dearly, but, you got to deal with, the cards that you were dealt, initially, and really the cards that you picked, because this was a pick. So
they wasn't dealt her. She picked them. She picked them every time. The lawyer blocked it. She picked it back up. Her uncle blocked it. She picked it back up. Even her mama blocked it and she picked it back up. Ashley, you got to do like Lisa Rinna. Own it. Now let's move on. Okay, so Mia, the real quick thing about Mia is, she talked about her illness. She went around in circles about it. I want to say, and I think we mentioned this one week on the show, I think perhaps all of the foreign stuff collectively, the fillers, the this, the that, the whatever, is what's shaking her body up. What has her body, thinking, what the heck is going on here? So I do believe as a result of all of those things that she's doing, and she does them constantly on a regular basis, which is going to be interesting because she doesn't have the money now. It's going to be interesting to see the real Mia when all of this stuff, the fillers and stuff, maybe is going down. I don't know how that works, right? But, you know, I believe because of all of that, she was having some type of medical issue, and she probably over-exaggerated the medical issue. But I do believe she had a medical issue as a result of all the things that she does to her body. Now, the fact that Mia, and this is what I mean, a lot of these housewives get this syndrome, okay? They overspend because they want to keep up with the lifestyle that they pretend that they have when they get on the show. You know, when Real Housewives started, it was supposed to be about the people behind the gates, the people that had that type of money, the 1%ers, the 2%ers, whatever you want to call it. It was supposed to be about those individuals. But we all know when the show went to recruit, those individuals like, nah, we good. I don't need to be on TV showing my lifestyle so people could come to my house, rob me, and put my kids' life in jeopardy. So they rolled forward and they was taking anybody who would sign up and had a little bit of money and said they would do the show. And so as a result, though, those individuals felt like they still had to live up to that lifestyle. Okay, Mia is the perfect example. You're renting 3 properties. You got to be dumb, stupid, or both.
All of the above.
All of the above. You're renting 3 properties. You spent $65,000 to move to Potomac for 2.2 seconds. And when the season was over, you was getting kicked out. You are currently living off your savings, and the best decision you can make is to go rent a penthouse. You said you have no money coming in, but here was another gem that was dropped. She said, I am living off my savings and from other things where money is coming in. She was talking about her Potomac check. So outside of her Potomac check and their savings, she's screwed. So she talked about that. And she tried to talk about how she lost control or got kicked out of her own company, so forth and so on. I think with Mia, everything starts, the basis of her stories, it starts from a smidgen of truth. And then it spins out of control after that. So I do believe some of the story that she was telling about how she got kicked out the business and this, that, and the other, it was some truth in there. But then it spun out of control because that's what Mia does. Just like when she went to the doctor initially and they said something was wrong, she got on the Twitter and the Instagram, I got cancer. Girl, calm down. We just told you something is wrong and you got some lumps. It could have been inflammation. Give us a minute because maybe if we give you an antibiotic, it will go down. But no, she spun out of control. I got cancer. And then she couldn't pull it back because that's the problem with social media. Once you put it in the universe, you're done. And the people will hold you to that into the day you leave this earth. Remember back on December 17th, because I took a screenshot of it, you said, blah, 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 blah. They don't let you live it down. They don't let you apologize, nothing. So that's Mia for you. But let's talk about Mia really quickly. We're going to go around. I'll start at the top this time. Roy, what about Mia? $65,000. She blew it out the window. Now she broke. Broken.
Broke and broken. You know, Mia is the perfect example of the little boy that cried wolf. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. I really don't. And then it's the stories that she tried to put together to try to cover up what's really going on. Like, girl, if you're gonna lie, you know what? It would have just been better if Mia just didn't show up at all. Like, we don't need no explanations. We don't need no excuses. Like, we've been seeing right through the BS, and she just got to go. Who spends $65,000 on a property that they don't own? Who do that? Where? Who is renting 3 properties and you don't even have a home to live in? They are the perfect example of a pot to piss in, but no window to throw it out of. What are we doing?
Did you hear that chick said her budget was $40K a month and just her rental prop? Like, is she?
And then did you hear her say without saying that they got kicked out the company because they was taking money from the company that they shouldn't have been taking?
Well, Giselle said that. Giselle said, do you think y'all got removed because you was embezzling? Now, do I think she, embezzlement is a harsh word. Do I think she borrowed some funds from the company bank account? She did.
Borrow? Since when can we borrow money from our jobs, Diva? If I walk up into my job and borrow some money, they're going to walk me out in handcuffs. The second I walk out with what I walked out in with, no. It's unacceptable. And then who go down to the bank account and take your name off the bank without having your permission to take your name off the bank, but you were owner on the bank account?
That's possible. But isn't that possible?
She borrowed it. She borrowed it, and you know
the lies and the more.
I don't think she's lying. I really don't think she's lying. If you ask me, I don't think she's lying. I just don't think that. I don't think that she was able to get like the points across, like for people to actually really understand. And I think there's like a little bit of a lie there. But I don't think the entirety of what she was saying was a lie.
No, Obi.
She said there were 3 members and then it went to 8.
She said she lied. So did she lie or did she not lie? I was like,
yeah.
No, but she said there were 3 members that made the decision.
Hold on, go ahead.
Dr. Heavenly said that the truth ain't confusing. It ain't confusing. And when I was last night, I was confused majorly. Like, I was like...
So here's the thing. I was not confused, and everything Mia was saying was making sense to me. The only part to me that didn't make sense was, why is it that somebody who has invested so much in the company was able to get kicked out of the bank account? I know that that's possible, but then they must have done something. So I'm actually leaning towards what Giselle was thinking.
Hold on, Obi, because I'm gonna come back to you, but you gotta hold on because I need to go around let everybody be heard.
Okay,
but then you know what happened, Obi? Then you're confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're confused. You're saying it. You're saying
okay, I'm not. So that's what I'm saying. I'm confused on one part, but what she was saying, I was following her with what she was saying. The only part that confuses me is, why was Gordon able to be kicked out?
But see, Obi, if a part is confusing, that means she wasn't clear. And I'm gonna be soft with it. She borrowed some money.
Oh,
they had to pull her out. Like Wendy was froze out of her own account. They had to freeze Mia out because she borrowed some money and she couldn't explain all the money that she borrowed. You finished for a year before I moved to Sebastian?
The fact Mia is another issue for me as well, is jumping to conclusions. She jumped to conclusions about being sick. She jumped to conclusions about, just this whole situation of everything. And I truly have a problem with it. I truly have an issue with it. And so all I can say for Mia right now is, hold on.
See?
Allegedly.
You need 2 more lines. You need 2 more lines. It needs to be fake, phony, and fraud.
Oh my God. Okay, we gotta go around. Sebastian, I'm coming to you, but hold on one second. Thank you for the super chat. Borrow without anybody knowing, borrow without permission. Ain't that stealing? I mean, borrow. That's all I'm gonna say. Borrow. Thank you for the super chat. Sebastian, what are your thoughts on Mia?
Listen, my thoughts on Mia is, this is exactly why I'm going to say this. And it's going to be controversial what I'm about to say, but people are going to have to swallow it and put their big boys and big girl ears on. Not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur. A former stripper cannot become a CEO easily like that. Clearly, they're doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. And Mia's a good example of that. Another thing is, it's not that hard to get somebody removed off the account, because she said it herself. There was a board. Mm-hmm. She was outnumbered. She was outnumbered and was able to be moved off the account. That's exactly why she was able to be moved off the account.
But her math was really bad, Sebastian.
Her math was really bad, because that's the thing. As you said, Auntie Robin, a couple shows ago, there's a difference between degree trained and degree educated.
Yes.
This is exactly the biggest example of that. She does not even know what are costs, saying that she likes to live by coastal, but Charlotte and Maryland. All I'm saying.
That was terrible. That was terrible. And you know what? That's the other thing about not knowing what to do with money. All within a close vicinity of each other, you renting out all of these properties. I mean, you have got to be stupid. You have really got to be stupid. Wait, hold on one second.
Housewife.
Lorraine, thank you. You know what? I don't understand why Gordon doesn't have millions in his savings and other investments. Seems odd. It seems really odd. But you know what? When Mia came into his life, obviously they just got used to spending. Nothing was wrong. I guess that other place that they was in was not in Potomac when they used to film the first season Mia came on. So that's why she wanted to move to Potomac. But nothing was wrong with that place. She should have stayed there. She moved too fast. The biggest mistake that a lot of these housewives do, as soon as they get in, they want to buy this big house. Figure out your money first. That was your first year getting that check. Calm down. Smoke, I'm going to go to you. What about Mia? Are you there, Smoke?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I thought I was off mute. I'm sorry. Okay. So I'm about to refute everything the lovely Sebastian just shared about Mia being an entrepreneur, because if that is the case, she would be the sole proprietor owner of said accounts, since she came on tooting her horn saying that she was the CEO of not one, not two, not three, 14 joint chiropractic in the state of Maryland, Virginia, wherever else her and Gordon were. So a true entrepreneur will make sure that she was able to sign all the paperwork and had the final say. But clearly she didn't, because she got kicked off said Chase, Bank of America, what Ameritrade, Wachovia bank accounts. I don't even know if Wachovia still exists. Wells Fargo accounts from the business. So no, she is not a business-minded entrepreneur. And the fact that she was sitting in a house that was worth more, that she was pulling in not only from housewives, but also from joint chiropractic, showed that she clearly has no sense of math skills or comprehension on what she is doing. And even poor old man Gordon, he probably losing his damn mind, because why don't you have money saved if you've been doing this for years? So I think this was a plan that Gordon set up to bring us with the bull crap, because he wanted Mia to be the pretty face while he was siphoning money from under his brother and his family, so he could have a getaway account in Switzerland or whatever account in the Cayman, so he can run away with his family. So miss me with that. Mia and her acne, not her. And when I say acne, I'm talking about her talking about, I think I might have cancer, when really it's just like your body's just aggravated from all your fillers and you're getting scars. So I'm gonna need you to get that together. Tell us the truth of what's really going with yourself before you come in here, sit on the TV screen, any confessional look, and talk about you are a boss. First of all, be the boss of your life, because clearly you are unemployed from that, and you can't even run that your damn self.
Amen. I agree with you, Snow. I agree with everything you said. You did not say anything that I didn't agree with.
But let me say this too, and for her to come up there saying she makes $450,000 a year, remember when she shaded the girls with that, and now you're to zero. Bonji, what do you think about Mia?
First of all, if I was Gordon's siblings or a board member on that company, as soon as she said, we just spent $60,000+ renovating this rental house, I would have shut it down so quick and taken her name off those accounts. Because that doesn't make any sense, let alone financial sense. And I agree with Smoke and Sebastian. You know, remember Gordon was married before he got with Mia? I wonder what happened in terms of paying out the first wife, to the point where now Mia comes on this show and claims to be a CEO. I disagree with Obi when he says part of that explanation made sense, because how do you go from we have 3 shareholders, no, we have 5, no, we actually have 8, we're voted out, and then Andy says, so how were you CEO if you can be voted out? Well, you just don't understand business. Girl, no, stop. I agree that she lies, and before she can even figure out what she lied about before, something comes up. For example, no, it's just a rash. It's not cancer. And she knew what she was doing, and this is why I say that. Of all the hospitals for her to quote on Instagram and Twitter. She went for the biggest and most influential one, Johns Hopkins.
Maybe it came to mind because Wendy worked there. Wait, hold on 1 second. Sean, thank you for the super
I don't want
chat.
people to think like I'm a Mia defender or anything, but I actually believe Mia in this part. And I'll tell you why.
That's where we disagree. I don't.
Hold on 1 second. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Mia and G are giving what is gift advice?
Grifter.
What's that?
Grifter, scammers.
Oh,
that's what they call Sheree. Sheree was always called.
You know what I think? I think that the family probably was trying to figure out where that $65,000 went, and when she sat up on that TV and said it, that's when they began the shutdown and the lockdown of them out of the company. Because people, cheaters and stealers and borrow the money. They misuse
we cannot support thievery on here, okay? There's no such thing as borrowing without asking, okay?
Diva, that's like me going to your house and taking your Starbucks cup and not bringing it back. What did I do? I didn't borrow. I stole it.
Diva, is that what the guy who broke into your car did? Did they just borrow?
Stop it.
Oh, don't do that, Sebastian. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sheila, thank you for the super chat. Now smoke. Those are facts, they said. Did I come to you, Emmanuel, really quick because we still got to talk about two more things.
Okay, first of all, Mia has the nerve to call Wendy a lying snake. Really? And let me come defend Wendy real quick because I stand by what I said at the beginning of the season. Just because Wendy thought that Mia was lying, independent of that, she never told the group, which was what she was trying to explain, but they didn't let her. And I like the way she read Mia and said maybe her next husband will accompany her to the doctor's appointment. Mia, she doesn't have the brain to have a business. She couldn't even explain how she left the company, and it was given secondhand embarrassment when everybody was laughing at her, and she just got pissed. And another thing for Giselle to throw that maybe some embezzlement was going on. It just shows you that Mia, if she probably thought Giselle was her friend, Giselle don't care. She'll throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah, Black Panthers. What happened? I didn't see it because the chat is going by so fast because they're saying, "Are you okay?" Yes, thank you, Emmanuel. Some Black Panthers said exactly, Emmanuel. Okay. Obi, I see you are a Mia fan. Quickly, thoughts on Mia?
I'm not a Mia fan, and I actually think she's a class in the show. Okay, so I'm not a fan. I think she's a class in the show. I think she's violent, and that's why I actually think she should not even be on the show. But she's funny. I'll give that to her, and her confessionals are funny. But some things that Mia was saying was, I don't think she was all the way lying. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying she's not lying, but I'm not saying that everything she's saying is a lie. When she was talking about the managing directors and the members of the voting members and the executive members, that made sense to me. The only part that didn't make sense to me was why it was possible for G to be voted out if something didn't happen. If there wasn't some kind of wrong, let me just say embezzlement or something financially going on that they were not supposed to be doing, which I know is actually possible because you could be partly heading a company, being for a company and having some people being able to make decisions that could actually get you kicked out of the company. I've heard of stories like that, so I know it's not far-fetched.
No, everything she said wasn't far-fetched. She just didn't know how to verbalize it correctly.
Exactly, yeah.
But Lorraine,
and then I personally don't think she's a CEO because the CEO has a lot more ability than she claims to have, because I don't even think that they'll be able to even be in this position.
Not necessary. So hold on 1 second. But I want to say what Lorraine said. Lorraine says that they probably collectively thought, all the partners in the business, that the joint would get good exposure if Mia be the face of it on the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yeah.
But they probably realized,
don't take my stuff there. That's exactly where I'm going.
Yeah,
but she had this opioid problem.
I was reading what Lorraine said. They probably realized that the way they were snatching and playing with the money, it wasn't worth, it wasn't getting as much traction as they thought it was. And I think part of it was because people wasn't connecting to Mia like that, so they could care less about the joint chiropractic, franchise or whatever. Hold on one second. Thank you for the super chat. Starbucks cup going and you don't even know it. Y'all don't do that. I ain't fooling with y'all. Really quickly, Mia.
Okay, I wanted to say something really quick about the health thing.
Go ahead, Obi. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, I have to finish up. So with the health thing, and maybe I'm just saying this because I also work in healthcare, but remember, Mia went to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist told her that she possibly had sarcoidosis, and they were trying to rule that out. So sarcoidosis is an autoimmune disease. It's like your body acting against itself. So it comes like as a triad of different things. It starts out with a rash, and then you have like lymph nodes growing like in your chest, and then you could have like some pulmonary syndromes from that particular disease. So the fact that she had lymphadenopathy in her chest, which the dermatologist also said live on the show, was the reason why she had to get that biopsy. Because if you have lymphadenopathy in weird places, you have to have it biopsied. And the moment your lymph node is going to be biopsied, cancer is going to be a differential diagnosis. So I actually believe what Mia is saying. To me, as a healthcare professional, it's making sense to me. So that's why I don't think she's lying. What I think she did was she went overboard with the whole cancer, no cancer thing prior to when she got the results back, because I'm sure the results were negative. Eventually, I'm sure they also ruled out the sarcoidosis, but just putting everything together, it makes sense to me. She didn't go to an oncologist. She went to a dermatologist because they started out with a rash, which is still part of the syndrome that they were talking about in what they were thinking. So I don't think she's lying, but that's just my own opinion.
No. I agree with you. And I think I said that earlier. But the thing is, though, she exaggerates a lot. And then she doesn't know how to explain herself. She immediately said cancer. And I think that's the issue everyone had with her, with what she said. So, but she puts these things out there and then she doesn't know how to clean them up. And that's the problem that people are having. So yes, everything that she said on the reunion, it made sense to me also. But the problem that people are having is that's not how you started out the story. So you started out the story different, and you mentioned John Hopkins, and you mentioned this cancer, and you mentioned this, and you even throughout the show, she kept saying all kinds of crazy things. She should have pulled it together better because she put it out there messy. So that I think with everything, even with the business, with everything, she has pockets of truth. And then when she tries to expound upon that truth, it spins out of control with a whole bunch of lies. Mia.
So for me, I have to take this opportunity to speak up for what is just and fair.
Oh.
Mia is a daughter, a mother, and a sister friend, okay? She is a philanthropist and a woman who prides herself on making opportunities for Black and brown people in the field of chiropractors. Mia is an innovator, and that needs to be acknowledged. Now, we're going to be fair about this. All those ladies picking on Mia and kicking Mia when she was down was downright disgusting. They're bullies. Karen and Ray hit a hiccup before. We saw it. What did they do? They bounced back. Because when you live long enough, you take a few losses, but you gain a few wins with perseverance and hard work. Mia and Gordon can beat this, okay? Robin and Juan have lost it all before too. Remember, Robin doesn't know what a board of directors or stakeholders are. I mean, she has a hat name called, her hat business is called Embezzlement, for Pete's sake. Her hats are sold on Craigslist and eBay, so just cut it on out. Then Ashley, she's mirroring Mia. They're like Pinky and the Brain. Neither one of those women are willing to get a monthly apartment for $1,200 or a $2,000 townhouse to live in. They refuse to live within their means, all of them. But Candy Burris in Atlanta taught them best. Cash only. You pay for your house in cash only. You're a housewife, for Pete's sake. The best houses come without mortgages. So, but this is where I want to circle it back to being just and fair, because all of those women on that stage, they're all one bad decision away from being in Mia's shoes. Wendy, you have $1 million in student loan debt that you have to repay. Your candles being sold on Etsy, you don't have a board of directors either. You and Eddie are the board, and you were trying to go into business with Peter Thompson, and he's fresh off of chapter 13. But I digress. Lastly, Giselle, you just need to relax, because In my opinion, what I saw, Wendy and Giselle were the ringleaders coming after Mia with this old mean girl attack, accusing Mia and her husband of fraud and snickering every 2 minutes. Giselle, let me have a word with you. When it comes to you outing folks for their finances, what about Pastor Holy Whore and the mismanagement of funds down at the New Birth? You may want to sit back and relax because that church is in so much debt. Jamal told them to go dig up the land and plant the cannabis seeds across the line so y'all could start trapping like Young Thug and YSL. Remember that? They needed to generate some additional revenue. No, really, if we're going to talk about it, they needed to generate some additional revenue because the building fund was deficient. And this is all public record. If you don't believe me, go look it up. Giselle, Annette, Grace, Bryant, how dare you? You had some nerve to sit up there on that stage and accuse Mia on national television of financial crimes. But see, this is your pattern. You made accusations all season. Your entire reality career, you made accusation on Karen, Monique, Candace, Chris, and now Mia. So I need to speak to you in your language. I need to know where I can submit my grievance against Giselle because I heard during the commercial break, Giselle, you propositioned Andy, your immediate supervisor, for some bump and grind time on the sheets and asking him about his previous sexual partners and whatnot. So
that was so gross.
And then we heard him tell your 18-year-old daughter on FaceTime to call him daddy. Giselle, you shut your mouth, girl. Somebody needs to file an EEOC claim against you for harassment in the workplace and malicious gossip. Because I would take that case. Yes, I would take that.
Harassment.
It's too many. Excuse me. We're going to talk about what's just and fair. It's too many examples of co-workers submitting complaints against you, and you need to leave Mia alone. Mia is a victim of circumstances. And I need everybody to have a heart. That's what I need. Hashtag have a heart.
Everyone's a victim. Mia's always the victim. She's never responsible for her own shenanigans, her misconception, her lies, and misgivings. That's what we saying. Okay. Okay, sis.
Oh my God.
I mean, you do realize she said her and Gordon are living off their savings with 3 kids, so she's not going to hit your Cash App or your Venmo tonight.
Wait, hold on now. Okay, all right. Well, E has spoken. They said the train is off the track. The Don, what do you think about Mia?
So that was good. That was a good soliloquy. But here's some facts about a bank account. If you are a CEO of a bank account, you have to go into the bank yourself and ask to be removed. No one can remove you from a bank account because on the account you will appear A or B, A and B, which means A and B, both signatures needs to be on a check.
Fact.
A or B, one or the other needs to be on the check. Now, in order to be removed from a bank account, you need to have a POA or a will, or you can start a new bank account. You can withdraw the money completely if you are a joint owner of the bank account, but you cannot remove anyone's name that is a owner of the bank account.
Okay.
Period.
Period, people. Y'all better get the facts here. Go ahead.
So let's get that lie together.
Yes, indeed.
So the next lie, when she said she went to a dermatologist and said the dermatologist said that she had cancer, a dermatologist will not, in fact, diagnose anyone with cancer. They will send you to an oncologist.
Well, no, if it's a melanoma.
Period. A dermatologist would not do that. So
melanoma
she sat there and
she
sat there and lied throughout her whole part of that part on her part of the reunion. She got her words mixed up. She got twisted. She got turned around. And when people were asking her questions, then she got defensive and said, I'm just not going to say anything around you all because you all are, taking it as a joke. No, it's because you don't know what you're talking about. CEO, that someone can remove you from a bank account, you sound a plumb fool.
Well, you know what?
That's all.
That's all. Okay, they telling you thank you, Dawn. Robin, Mia.
Lord Jesus, I gotta get on that same train. Here's the thing. Mia's problematic for a couple of reasons. The best of them being is that she should probably have written everything down before she spoke it so she could understand the sequence that she meant to explain herself a way to be about. But more than that, I really believe that we don't know how Mia came to be on this show, but I do believe that collectively, Gordon and his family believed Mia would be a good look for the Joint Chiropractic because they had all these different sites. And I think they saw this as a business opportunity for free advertisement. How came in this first, they weren't living the lives of Riley, and they decided to not only try to keep up with the Joneses, but to be the Joneses, which is why she says she paid $65,000 to rent to a rental home to put the floors in. What sense does it make to have 3 or 4 rental properties if you're wealthy? That doesn't make sense. And I really believe that what happened was they said, let's put Mia on. She looks good. She can promote our business. Then she got on there and she looked a hot mess because she told her truth. She was like, I am queen of the hoes. And I think that she put a very dark stain on the business. They did not get the return of what they believed their investment was going to be. And that's where she messed up, how she messed up. And then they got mad at Gordon because we thought that your wife was all this, that, and the third. And you know what? She's not even, some people could be icing on the cake. She's not even like the cake itself. She is barely the crumbs.
Well, what happened too is the way she was presenting herself, right? You throwing a drink in Wendy's face. Yeah. You throwing a drink in Wendy's face. You doing all that. Yeah, they had problems with that too. She messed up. But yes, I do believe, like y'all saying, that it was at first they thought, hey, this is a great opportunity. Millions of people potentially watch the Real Housewives of Potomac, and she messed up the bag for them, and they had enough. And I don't think she was the CEO. And listen, you could be the CEO of a company, but still not own the 100% of the shares or 60% of the shares or whatever within
you can own 0 shares, actually. You can own 0 shares and still be the boss.
That is correct. You are correct, 100%. So I think she was, like you said, just the face. Baji, did you get to speak on Mia before I move on?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. Everybody got to speak on Mia. Let me just throw this in real quickly. We're going to close it out with these. I'm sorry. I know y'all love Wendy, and I love her too. I don't want y'all to get it confused. Like, I don't like Wendy. But Wendy getting caught on the hot mic, and then I'm talking about it, and Wendy trying to explain it away. Wendy was being a hypocrite, point blank in the period. Okay? She was being messy. You did think that Mia was lying. Just own it. Just own it. Don't try to dance around it, right? Giselle apologized to Candace, and Candace told her where she could stick that apology. And I agree with Candace. And Giselle wanted to read this apology that Chris gave her, but like Candace said, he gave you that apology before we saw all of the shenanigans. All of the shenanigans and all of the other negative stuff that you said about my husband during the season. The fact that Giselle wanted to say to Andy, if you don't sleep with a woman by 60, then I'll do it. You know what, Giselle? You'll do anything for a check. That's what that... and then what else? And then Robin saying this was the worst part. When Robin wanted to try to explain away how she thinks that, we don't want to put the wrong message out here. First of all, the Real Housewives of Potomac, just the whole season, the wrong message goes out all the time. So I'm not quite sure why Robin was so concerned. Robin, the wrong message is having females think that it is okay to stay with a man by any means necessary just because you was married to him and just because you have kids by him. So if you want to talk about wrong messages, we'll start with just one of them. But you want to say that the wrong message, you think is sending the wrong message that a married man is going to be alone with a female, a single female. Well, your husband didn't get the memo then, Robin. Juan didn't get the memo because Juan was over there at the hotel paying the bill like he's doing some charity with a single woman. So if you want to talk about wrong messages, it starts at home. Start in your house, okay? And what else did I have to say? Giselle trying to get this piss poor, explanation as to what happened between her and Chris. I don't like it. And I think that this season, Giselle went to the ultimate low with that story. I do think it impacted his life in a very negative way. I do not for one moment think that Chris wanted Giselle like that or was trying to think anything crazy. I think that all of them, and especially after reunions, they get toasty. They be drinking it up. And some people, once the alcohol gets in them, it gets messy. But do I think for 1.2 seconds that Chris wanted Giselle? I do not. I will start at the bottom this time. So Auntie Robin, you're up. What do you think about those scenes? That those were like the final scenes pretty much. What are your thoughts? Did we lose you? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was actually doing something else. I was writing a note, but I just I didn't like a lot of things about that near the end, especially Giselle, because when she propositioned Andy, the sad thing is it didn't feel like she was being funny or she's making a joke. That was kind of scary. Number two about it is, Andy said it was an HR issue. It's an HR issue a whole lot of ways, 6 ways to Sunday. And the third is that Andy Cohen is very proud of the fact that as a gay man, he has never had any kind of sexual interaction with a woman, and I'm sure he seeks to maintain that status. I just, this episode for me, just to put a cap on it, I saw Candace very differently. I felt that she had a lot of maturity. Some of her digs were like real gutter low, and I appreciated all of them. And I really disliked Giselle a whole lot more. And I'm convinced that Ashley is just dumb. That's it.
Don, what do you think about the final scenes?
I'm glad that Candace did not accept Giselle's apology because next season is going to happen again. They're pointing out the pattern in Giselle with her repeatedly going out to families, and I'm glad that they did that to her face. She acts like nothing gets to her, and it does. In fact, there's a story breaking right now when, what's her name? The Grand Dame said last season that Giselle went to Sing Sing. She said that because she knew Giselle checked herself into a mental institution because Jamal's first wife was after Giselle when they first got married. So she did, in fact, check herself in to an institution. Karen played it all, but it is true. So Giselle has a lot of stuff, that they haven't brought out and that they need to. They really need to, because she's they're mean girls, and they're levels, but she's just, in your words, Diva, she's gutter low.
Yes.
And and it's going to take somebody like a Candace to hit her where it hurts. And Candace doesn't have to lie on her. She just has to present the facts.
Candace went a little low with her, whatever she said about her uterus.
And I'm glad she said it. I'm glad she did.
She went, but you saw it hit Giselle. Did you see her kind of put her head down?
Yeah, it hit her.
Yep, it hit her. It hit her because you can't keep going after families. And she does have a pattern. And my thing is, you want a man. It's reminding me of what's the name? Kenya Moore from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You want a man, and then when you get your man, you want everybody to respect everything you have with that man. But in the meantime, for years, you're not respecting anybody else's relationship.
Diva, you better watch your words about Kenya. Kenya respected everyone's relationship. She's never
Bull at BS, Sebastian. Stop.
The only thing that Kenya has done that was wrong, and she's admitted to it, is the way she's spoken and acted around Apollo. Okay, she has never disrespected anyone's relationship.
Wait, Diva, can I just interject real quick and shut that down? What do we say? False fake news? Fake news? Fake news.
That was beard. That's what.
No.
Hold on.
Can I shut it down? Can I shut it down?
Hold on, guys, because I'm coming around. Declining uterus, the dwindling
uterus.
Listen, she came for her. Listen, Candace handled herself extremely well on this reunion. So Bonji, your thoughts on the final scenes?
First of all, instead of Giselle being worried about everybody else's business, she should be worried about today's breaking news that Eminem is not pleased with them applying for trademark of their Reasonably Shady, because he is the original Slim Shady. That's breaking news today. The next thing that disappointed me more than anything else on yesterday's episode was Giselle picking up a FaceTime call while her daughter was driving and not even realizing how problematic that is, and putting the phone in Andy's face, who then asked her, FaceTime? Are you driving? Get on FaceTime while you drive. That's sure just did. Wrong.
You know what? You're right. That slipped from me. You are correct. That did happen. But you know what, though? Wait a minute for 1 second. So Slim Shady and Reasonably Shady, why can't they do their trademark?
Robin and Giselle applied for trademark for Reasonably Shady. Eminem is saying he's the original Slim Shady, and their podcast name is too close to his trademark of Slim Shady.
Mm-hmm. You think so, though, or you think he's putting 2110 there? I think that's a bit much.
I think Shady. I think he obviously coined Slim Shady as his nickname, but then Shady is now part of our day-to-day from reality shows. So I don't know if he will be successful in that regard.
Well, his money is long and longer than both of theirs put together. So I hope they get it taken down.
That's it.
It's not even going to be about the money. It's going to be about the longevity of the phrase and the phraseology, how it's been used and applied. And they are like newcomers. And I believe that he will prevail.
Me too.
But hold. Okay, we're gonna have to have a whole nother talk.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not happy. I don't particularly care for them, but I'm not happy with this. I think this.
So it doesn't sound okay.
So nobody moving forward can trademark anything with the name Shady in it.
Exactly.
Stop. That's team too much. I don't think that's fair.
But I'll do my research. So when you come back with that topic, I'll have more information.
Okay. Can I just let me pipe in with that? That's something we can do a deep dive into later. But I often share that I'm a member of a Greek letter organization, and we actually have been able to trademark and service mark not only our motto, but even our hand signal as well as our call. So you can't be going around ski-weeing because we're gonna have a
absolutely.
But Robin, that is different. So the word shady,
it's not different
because
Slim Shady.
No, but it is.
You
different,
have to contextualize Diva.
No, but what I'm saying is your handshake and the name and the calls that you do.
I didn't say shake. I said signal.
Okay.
No. Here's the thing.
I'm not trying to be. I'm just signal, handshake, whatever. What I'm saying is that is known for your sorority. I'm saying the word shady is not connected to just one person. It's a word from the dictionary. If their show was called Slim Shady, then I would get with that. But they have Shady in their name, and now you saying I can't trademark it? I'm trademarking my name But hold on one second. I'm trademarking this show name and it has Diva in it. Do you know how many people use Diva? They can't shut you down. So that's why.
Here's the thing. We'll see how well you do with being able to trademark the entirety of your name. But when we talk about what people do, and if you take a moment, you can probably do a whole nother show about this. But Eminem is from a storied era in the zeitgeist. He's part of hip hop culture. He has been known and continues to be known as the real Slim Shady. So because that has been used so often and is so associated with him, he was able to trademark that. So what the people at the trademark office are going to do is going to say, how does this impact him? How will it detract from him and his trademark? It makes a whole lot of not sense. But if you look at a lot of recent trademark applications and what has been approved or rejected, you will be able to see a pattern. If you like, I could do some research for you to explain it.
Yeah, we can. We're gonna have to circle back to that. Okay, because I'm just saying that they're not using his trademark Slim Shady and Shady as well as well. They're saying, so you're saying he trademarked the word Shady and Slim Shady, but I'm going to highly doubt, I'm willing to put my money on this, I want to highly doubt that there is no other trademark in the world that has Shady in it. I just don't, I can't go for that.
I'm going to say that you may be correct, but I'm going to say, I will bet you $6 right here, right now, that Giselle and Robin will not prevail and they will not be granted their trademark for Reasonably Shady. $6.
Well, we're going $6 it is. We're going to take this back. $6 it is. So wait, we got to move on. Close this thing. We're closing this thing out. But y'all, that is breaking news, and I'm emotional about it. And it's not even that, I really deal with, when it comes to things, I really like to deal in fair. Like, I play around a lot, and I don't even really care about Robin and Giselle like that. I think they're messy. But this is bigger than just being messy. This is a name. And how does one person lock down a name in a dictionary? That I don't get.
Was Kim Kardashian trying to trademark something? And they were like, are you kidding us? Oh God, it was, I have to. I thought that was
Kylie. Someone said in the chat it was Kylie, and Kylie Minogue beat her out to it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because somebody else had trademarked it already. Not they can use the word shade. We have to look more into this. Kim's collection. Okay, we gotta look more into this. It's a good conversation. E, what are your thoughts on these final scenes?
So I'm disappointed that Royer was not here, because I did leave him a comment on his page about the Candace versus Giselle. Candace, I need to have a word with you. When you told Giselle to take her apology and to shove it, Giselle gave you more than what I would have. Why does Giselle have to apologize to you? What does she have to apologize for? That's what I was thinking when I was watching that scene. Because if my memory serves me correctly, at the season finale, Candace hugged and kissed Giselle, not once, not twice, but 3 times. So you already forgave Giselle, in my opinion. What I saw with my own 2 eyes is a producer said action, and Candace went into drama mode, because had this happened to Candy, she would have never hugged Phaedra on the season finale. Had this been Garcelle, she would have never hugged Diana at the season finale. In my opinion, when you draw a line, you keep it. It's called keep that same energy. Candace is playing Russian roulette with her and Chris's credibility, like I told y'all last month, and like I said weeks prior. When you play with your marriage and you play with your credibility, it all goes up in smoke the next time you try and cry wolf. Mm-hmm. So one more thing. When Candace ended her soliloquy saying, oh, Giselle is not smart, I was thinking to myself, now don't even go there, Candace, because I'm not even a Giselle fan, but Giselle is the one with no husband, no storyline, no acting career, and no CD. but she's sitting first chair at a reunion where you're seated second. Okay? And Giselle is also the same one making her annual income off of the inconvenience of you and Chris. Okay? So, and you have the nerve to say Giselle is not smart, but you're working for her. What would Giselle have to talk about if it wasn't for Chris and Candace? Y'all gave her paycheck this whole season. I say Giselle is pretty damn smart. If you ask me, she's smarter than Candace and Chris. Giselle is so smart, she gets a bigger paycheck than Candace, but Candace and Chris are doing all the work. Giselle keeps her private life off air. And you think Giselle is not smart? Candace is the one with the NBA. She's the new CD. She has the show on BET Plus. You're filming all these scenes with your husband, your mother, your sister, all your family. And Giselle is just filming herself with her 3 girls. She's filming half the scenes with less family members, but getting the same amount of airtime. You can't tell me that Giselle is not smart. Candace, just go sit down somewhere with Ashley at this point, because this is not common sense. This is not common sense. And I don't understand how Candace made it through grad school, but you're still taking the orders, dropping the fries, making the burgers, bagging the food, and washing the dishes. Meanwhile, Giselle is sitting in the back with her feet propped up, talking on her cell phone with Robin until it's time to clock out and go home. That's it.
Well, E, you was on fire tonight. I can't disagree because my time is way over and running out. This could be a whole nother conversation. And somebody said that she has crusty feet. Listen, y'all killing me tonight. Let me just say this. See, Cynthia said she did up a few trademark applications with the word shady via Reasonably Shady, Palm Shady, Shady Blue, Shady Face. We got to look into this. Obi, really quickly, I'm trying to close out. What are your final words? They love it, E.
Nothing. I'm going. Okay, bye. Good night.
Good night, Obi.
Funny.
Emmanuel, your final words?
Yes. I'm going to say 2 things that are going to be a little problematic.
Okay.
First, we as a whole owe Monique Samuels an apology because she was right about everything. Mm-hmm. And 2 years ago, when Monique was dragging Giselle for filth, Candace should have shut her mouth and listened, because I remember she was speaking out of the side of her mouth. Really? You brought a binder? What's wrong with you? You should have been quiet and listened to what Monique had to say, because that would have been useful for this year.
Yep.
Okay? That's the first part. Second, it was wrong, the wrong messenger, but I agree with Robin. A married man should never be in a hotel room with a woman. And that doesn't mean that his intentions are bad, but it's about the way people are going to perceive it. And here is the example. This entire season is the example. And like I said, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean that he's the bad guy. But you should know that as a man, you shouldn't be going into a hotel room with a woman, because someone's going to think that it's something that it's not.
Well, I am so out of time, but you're killing me. And all I want to say is this. If Giselle thought it was so wrong and it's so dreadful to do that, when he said, let's go to your room, why did she say okay?
Amen.
I'm not saying she's innocent. I'm saying she's wrong, but he should know better as a man.
They're 2 grown people. If a grown man comes to me and I'm going to feel uncomfortable and say, can I talk to you in your room? I'm saying, no, let's step over here. Let's find a quiet place down here and let's talk.
But as a man, you need to know the optics of what you're doing too.
So every male in this world, they got to be afraid that everything that they do with a female that is perhaps not their wife or they're not married to, they can't have a conversation with them. They can't talk to them. They can't be friendly with them because the ops is going to look like they was trying to do something with them. What type of world are we living in where that has to happen?
Well,
unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
He's kind of right. That's how the Me Too movement. Child, I'm going hard.
Okay, we cannot, because y'all killing me. I got.
I told you it was gonna be problematic.
Thank you for the super chat. Giselle is not smart. She's privileged. That's that has been the argument. Who did not give their final word?
Me.
Okay, go ahead, Sebastian.
My final words are,
and I'll go after Sebastian.
Okay.
This was a good reunion. I like it. I hope the next two are also great as well.
Yes.
But I kind of do agree with Emmanuel and E on everything that they had to say about Candace and Giselle. We should have never, ever came for Monique. Monique, we should have listened her out. Bravo should have never cut everything that she had to say in that binder. Because if you want to play low and go for families, we'll come for your family too. Mm-hmm. That's how it should have went. Giselle is not stupid. And Candace, you need to watch the words you're saying, because you're on a fertility journey, telling this woman her dwindling uterus, oh, I'm going to get dragged, when you're not that far away either. Oh. These are very dangerous words, Candace. These are very dangerous words.
Everything comes back to
when you're on a fertility journey, Candace, you need to watch the words you say. Because yes, you have 8 embryos, and I congratulate you.
6.
Oh, 6. Oh, 6? Okay. 6. You have 6 embryos, and I congratulate you with that. But that word that that comment that you made with dwindling uterus could make that 6 just become 1.
Ooh. And Chris is about as old as Michael Darby. So why she's talking about wrinkled bones? Chris is not that old.
Smoke, I gotta close out. Go ahead, Smoke. Monique was correct.
What she was saying, I know what they're saying. Monique was correct in her assessment of Giselle and the breakdown of that. But listen, I'm with Candace. I was like, you go low when it comes to anybody close to me. I'm taking your behind straight to hell, and I don't care what words come out of my mouth. So she's lucky that's all she said about her. And technically, that could have been Giselle's storyline. It could have inspired a lot of women. But what did she choose to do? She chose to be messy and try to mess up someone else's marriage. So she chose the right one on the right season to get her all the way together. So I can't wait to see part 2. I will agree with Sebastian. The only thing I'm agree with Sebastian tonight is it was a good reunion so far. I hope they keep up with the paces and that part 2 and part 3 delivered just as much. But yeah, I think we're finally seeing the takedown of Gizerneck and linebacker Robin a little bit. Not linebacker Robin. What's the correct word? I can't even use the correct word right now, but I'll figure it out in the next panel. But yes. Back to you, Diva. Bring us home.
Okay. Okay. Y'all killed me tonight. Eminem is being messy, point blank in a period. But we will come back and have a bigger discussion on that. I think it's team too much. Don't stop blocking people from making their bag. Let them ladies trademark their show. They're messy. Okay. They're very shady. They're not reasonably shady. They're very shady, but let them trademark their show. Okay. Because first of all, like I said, there are so many trademarks out there that have similar names. It's out of control. Okay, like out of control. So anywho, it was a good reunion. I give it a 10 out of a 10. I don't know. Y'all throwing the chat out in there. What did y'all give this reunion? I'm standing 10 toes down, and I'll put it a little easier. 10 toes down that Robin and Ashley, they were the best dressed. Point blank in a period. But I forgot who gave this message, but I will, and that's why I'm going to wrap it up just a little bit differently. Overall look, 100%. Overall look 100% definitely goes to Robin, okay? The hair matched the dress, matched the skin. Like, she looked well overall together sitting down. The rest of them, there was some questionable things, whether it was the hair, the shoes matching with the dress or something like that. It was some things that were questionable. A lot of gems happened in this thing. What's her name? Giselle is, her time is up along with Robin's. We're sick of her. I'm over her. It's like she will do almost anything for a check. Wendy, I know you love her, but y'all got to call a thing a thing. She's a hypocrite. Just tell Mia, I thought you was a liar. I got caught on a hot mic. My bad, my mistake. Whatever. But you know what? You didn't own up to it, Wendy. You was being messy and you danced around it. And that's what I don't like. But listen, guys, gotta go. Love ya. Tomorrow night, Love and Marriage Am I saying this right? Yeah, Love and Marriage DC. If you're not watching that show,
you need to be.
When I tell you, you are missing out on a show. So we'll be recapping Love and Marriage DC tomorrow night. Hope to see y'all there. Until then, good night, y'all. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye, Bonji.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Buenas noches.